Hello my beautiful people, welcome back to another gorgeous day in the garden. Today we're going to be painting something with some negative space. I want to actually do a ribbon pour on top of some Prussian Blue negative space and stretch it out and see how that goes. So that's our game plan. This is a 24 by 30 inch gallery wrap canvas from Artist Loft. I have taped the back and put my push pins in, and I have painted my sides and edges with the color of my base coat, which is the Prussian Blue. Let me show you my colors. There are some old ones in here that I've had challenges with in the past, so I'm trying to revisit them and maybe change up a few things that I did that didn't make them work the right way. The first example of that is this one. This is Artist Loft Pearl Violet. A few of you have suggested that when I used these in the past, if I used them on a white base coat, they weren't going to show up so much. And that was one of the things that influenced me to use the darker Prussian Blue as the base coat for this one, so that this Pearl Violet hopefully will show up. I haven't mixed it with any other color. This is just it by itself. Troy, do you see that violet sort of sheen on there?
No. Very subtle.
Yeah, it is pretty subtle, but hopefully it'll show up nicely on the darker Prussian Blue. So speaking of which, we're using golden Prussian Blue, one of my favorite colors. This is in the pour, and I also have it as my base coat color. So all the colors in the pour tonight are mixed with mix pour. You can get your own mix pour by emailing Krista at krista8974@gmail.com, and she will hook you up. Really good stuff. The ratio for mix is about 6 to 1 or 7 to 1, depending on how thick or thin your paint that you're using is. I usually start with a 16-ounce cup. I put 2 ounces of mix in the bottom, about an ounce, ounce and a half, 2 ounces of paint, depending on which one. For the golden, I'm using an ounce. For, you know, something like Artist Loft or Arteza that is not as pigmented, I would probably need to use more, so like 2 ounces. Mix those two up, so then I've got 4 ounces or 3 ounces, depending, and I add between 6 to 10 ounces more of mix to fill up a 16-ounce cup. So the ratio is about 6 to 1 or 7 to 1, depending on what you like. So this is our Prussian Blue that's going to be in the pour. Not super thick today, leaving a mound on a mound, but sinking into itself pretty fast. Okay, the next golden one we are using is this gorgeous creature. This is Quinacridone Violet, and this was actually one that I added to this palette at the last minute.
You must like that. That's a really big jar.
Yes, I do like it. Beautiful color. And I added this one because, I'll tell you why in a minute. Anyway, so that's our Quinacridone Violet from Golden. The next one we're using is our Arteza Pearl Sapphire Blue. Very pretty. Shimmery, metallic-y sort of color. Okay. And then we are using, this is the one that gave me fits before. This is Artist Loft Metallic Purple. So I don't like light purple. I don't like a lavendery sort of color. I like more bold jewel tones. So I'm hoping that this one is going to do what I want it to do. The last time that I used it, it did not, and that could have been because I didn't put it with things that contrasted very much. So that's one of the things I'm going to try to correct this time. So this was my palette originally, and then I felt like because we also had the Prussian Blue as the base coat color, these 4 by themselves weren't going to stand out. There was nothing really popping, so that's why I added the Quinacridone Violet to the color palette. Okay, let's get started. Got the 24 by 30. The first thing we're going to do is put down our base coat. Okay, so all of my paints for the pour are mixed with mix pour. However, I have mixed up the paint for the base coat with Liquitex Gloss Medium and Floetrol. I just wanted to give it a little bit more opacity rather than transparency because it is our base coat. And mix does beautiful things with transparency, but I don't necessarily want that for the base coat. So we're going to go ahead and put down our Prussian Blue base coat. I'm going to tilt it out as much as possible. Hopefully we've got it thin enough that it's not going to be a problem. don't want this too thick because it is pretty warm here. So I do want to stretch this out. And I don't want to spread it around with my spreader. I wanted to tilt it out because I do want to keep some negative space, so I don't want any like brush marks on there. All right, okay, there, twitch that real quick. Okay, so we'll scoot that over for a second, and then we're gonna layer a small cup because I don't want a lot of paint coming out all at once. I want just a thin ribbon, and I want to be able to stretch it out. Just back in the cup. Okay. All right. So we have our cup here. We're going to start off with a little bit of that pearl violet. And I don't want real thick layers, I want thinner layers kind of. So I'm going to use, well, yeah, I'm going to do the purple first. And a little gold. And a little bit of Quinacridone Violet. Gail's really going today, huh? Put a little of the Prussian Blue. Let me do it again. Did I use that? I didn't use that. Okay. Put up Sapphire Blue in there. And the brilliant metallic purple. I'm going to end it with some of that Prussian Blue because that's the first color we have on the canvas. Okay. Alright, so the idea that I want to do is some ribbons, and then I want to stretch them out. So I do intend to leave negative space on this, so I don't necessarily want the ribbons touching each other. Are you ready, husband of awesomeness?
Aye, lass, I'm ready.
Here we go. That's more what I wanted right there. Okay. Bring a little bit of this through here, even though that's probably going to get tilted off. That's actually pretty cool. Okay. All right, let's tilt this out and see what happens. Okay. And we want to keep negative space, but I do want to stretch out the ribbons. So we'll see how it goes. So right now I'm not even looking at the composition, I'm just looking at where the weight of the paint is and like trying to spread it out over the canvas and stretch out those ribbons. And when we're done with this part, then we'll look at composition and see what's going on and what we like and what we don't like. What do you think, HOA?
I think that's really cool.
I don't know if I like it. I don't like them.
The thing is, it looks like it's only stretched in the X direction. It's only stretched in the X direction, not the Y.
Okay, that's an interesting observation. Take some of this off this way. I don't want to lose this, so I'm going to take this part down off of that way since I'm not so crazy about that anyway. And let some of that come off. What's happening there?
Got a little bit of Chinese dragon thing going on though. It's pretty cool.
I don't know if I love it. I mean, I do like the negative space and I like the colors. What's upsetting me is that metallic purple again. I still don't like it. It hasn't changed from when I didn't like it the first time I used it.
Well, you gave it an honest shot.
Well, you know. I got a little bit over here that's like a lid. We're gonna let that come off.
Where?
kind of giving me mountains for some reason. Like I see a phoenix head. I mean, let me wipe my hands off so I can actually point at it. There's some parts of it that I really, really like. I love all of this with that Quinacridone Violet and the gold, and that Pearl Sapphire Blue from Arteza is really, really pretty on top of the Prussian. That's gorgeous. I love this part. I like these. That looks like a phoenix. This is like some sort of mountain range or something. These cells are a little wonky. I like this though. I like this. I don't like this part. So, options for that part are either leave it alone or pour a little bit more paint on that top part, like through here, to camouflage that, which I actually think I'm going to do that because I really don't like the way that that looks.
I'm not a wreck.
No. Okay, so I'm going to use a clean cup so you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to look at this as a roadmap to see what I did that I really liked. I actually really like the blue against the Prussian blue, or the gold against the Prussian blue, so I'm going to put a little bit of gold in the bottom. And then we're going to go in with that Pearl Violet, kind of a bigger layer this time. And I'm going to skip that brilliant purple altogether. Oh, metallic purple, excuse me. And gold in there. A little bit of white. Blue. Okay, so I'm going to go from over here, and I'm just going to do a ribbon through this part and in here. So probably stay wide again. All right, are you ready, husband of awesomeness?
All right, Alex.
Okay, that's cool. See, I like that. I like that a lot better without that purple. Go away, fly. All right, since there's not a lot of paint on here, I'm just going to tilt this out a little bit more minimally to spread what I've just put on there, and then we're probably going to be done. Oh, please go away, fly. He is determined. Just let that little bit go off the edge there. So I'm actually going to stop now. Oh my god. Before this fly drives me insane. But also mostly, can you get over here, HOA? See how these little cells are now popping up? And before, one of the things I didn't like is that the cells were all wonky and misshapen. So now that I have the cells there, I'm actually going to stop. Because I like this composition much, much better. I love that Quinacridone Violet against that pearl. It's really, really pretty. The Pearl Violet from Amsterdam. I like this better. So I didn't like that metallic purple very much. A little bit too wishy-washy for me, but I like everything else, and I like the composition, and I love the negative space against the colors. So let's torch this, and we are going to get all these cells popping up through there. So I don't know if you saw there was one bubble there. It was like so satisfying when that one popped.
Very cool, can sell too.
Yeah. Okay, so this is looking pretty cool. I will show you guys when it is dry. But I really like what's going on here. I love that Prussian Blue as a base because it's going to dry nice and deep and dark. But it's also going to have some life to it because it's not black. And I really like the gold and that pearl metallic, pearl blue. What is it? Pearl sapphire blue? Yeah, pearl sapphire blue from Arteza. Now we'll see if we get some of that more violet color shiftiness from the Amsterdam Pearl Violet this time because it's layered against darker things rather than on a white base and it didn't show up. Do you think we should get rid of that, HOA?
What?
This line right there?
No.
Think we should just leave it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alrighty then. So this one is done for the moment. I will show you guys when it's dry. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope that you guys do experiment with your paints and, you know, think about something that might be cool and then go try and make it. And I encourage you guys, if you have colors that you've mixed up and one of them is not working for you, don't be afraid to leave it out and, you know, save that paint for something else. So, cool. I'll see you guys in a minute. Yeah?
Yep.
Nice groovy close up. There's all sorts of creatures in here. I see lots of birds.
Birds.
These parts are beautiful. Okay, so this is a couple of days later. The center is still a little bit wet, but other than that, it is pretty dry. This looks so cool. Sorry, we're like at the end of the day sunlight, so it's kind of glary, but very blingy and pretty. Lots of gold. I didn't realize there was this much gold in it, but I love what's happening in here with that pearl sapphire blue and the gold and that little bit of quinacridone violet. These cells are just gorgeous. I'm really happy that I did that last little ribbon cup. I love this part in here. Very, very pretty. So this didn't turn out exactly how I wanted it, but it has given me a lot of ideas of things that I want to play with. Just wanted to show you the bling on there and the shine on there. Very, very cool. So this is our 24 by 30. Kind of reminds me of ribbons floating around in the wind. A couple quick observations. So when I was doing the ribbon, when I was pouring it slower in the beginning, it was giving us those fingerlings, which stretched out into these bits with these lines. And then when I started pouring it faster, that's when I started getting the cells popping through. So I think if you're looking for cells, slightly thinner paint and pour it faster, whereas if you're looking for fingerlings, slightly thicker paint and pour it a little bit slower. But I think this one came out kind of neat. So this is our ribbons in the wind, and thanks for being with us, guys. We'll see you real soon. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.